Hey guys, Lindsay here. We came across a Reddit post with nearly 30,000 upvotes comparing how Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders felt about segregation in the 60s and 70s. Biden and Bernie are both Democratic candidates for the upcoming presidential election. With the election just around the corner and the fact that I'll be voting for the first time, I wanted to learn some more. I had to wonder, did Biden really defend segregation? Right off the bat, it's important to note that this is in the Reddit subthread Sanders for President, so this is an echo chamber for Bernie supporters. But let's dig into fact-checking and start off with a reverse image search. For comparison memes, you get better results if you separate the search into two searches for each image and crop out the text of the image. So that's just what I did. So I saved the image twice. In one, I cropped it just for Bernie, and for the other, just for Biden. This is just as easy, if not easier, on a desktop. For just the image of Bernie, I came across this. The article confirms that this is a photo of Bernie from when he was at the University of Chicago. The Chicago Tribune dug this up from their archives. They even have a video clip showing Bernie being arrested. We can tell that's where the other two photos came from in the meme. The source of that clip was Carton Quinn Films, but I'm going to assume that the Chicago Tribune verified that the video was authentic. As for Biden, I found this using a cropped reverse image search. This article reads, he had expressed support for integration and, more specifically, busing during his Senate campaign in 1972. But once elected, he discovered just how bitterly his white constituents opposed the method. In 1973 and 1974, Biden began voting for many of the Senate's anti-busing bills, claiming that he favored school desegregation but objected to forced busing. But did he give a passionate speech? And was he really defending segregation? I found a quote from one of his speeches in 1976, which reads, "Black kids don't want to come to your school any more than you want to go to their school." So this is from a speech, but not in 1975. I then came across a New York Times article which gives a summary of Biden's ideology on busing. As far as the speech goes, the article says that in 1974 he gave a speech to the Senate against busing. And in 1975, nothing about a speech is there. What it does mention is a television interview where he called busing an asinine concept and said he had gotten to the point where I think our only recourse to eliminate busing may be a constitutional amendment. As an alternative, he argued for putting more money into the black schools and opening up housing patterns, warning that otherwise we are going to end up with the races at war. So I didn't find a speech from the time this meme says. We did reach out to the Biden campaign to figure out whether or not he did give a speech in 1975, but we have not heard back from them. If we do, I will update that in the caption. After going back to the reverse Google image search results, I found a caption for the same photo saying that this was from August 12, 1974, on the Washington Examiner. The caption also says it was from Getty Images, so I went there. After searching Joseph Biden, 1974, a couple photos from the same day popped up. So this photo is not from 1975, however, it is still unclear whether or not he did give a speech defending segregation. Let's address his stance on segregation then, and go back to the Politico article I found. The article reads, he supported busing as a remedy for de jure segregation, as in Jim Crow South, while he opposed busing in cases of de facto segregation, as in northern cities. So, what does this really mean? Well, he supported busing in the South, where there was segregation by law, but not so much in the North, where there was segregation by individuals and their own ideas. Still, more context does not hurt, so I did a keyword search for Biden's side. Check it out. I came across a podcast and an article from the Washington Post. While the original meme is suggesting that the photo was taken during a speech by Biden, the Post instead recounts an interview Biden gave to a Delaware-based weekly newspaper in 1975. While I did not find an actual recording of the interview, I did find this article. What Biden said in this interview was that he didn't support busing white students to black schools. Biden did not comment in the Washington Post article. His spokesperson did, saying he never thought busing was the best way to integrate schools in Delaware, and said this was because busing would not achieve equal opportunity. I looked at another source just to be clear. What an article from CNN said is that in the most recent presidential debate, Biden said, "I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed." For some more context, though, I went back to the keyword search and found this article from PolitiFact, which clarifies some things. So, while Biden did not necessarily support busing, he did support other aspects of desegregation, and examples of this are given. I will leave the link below so you can read it for yourself. So that was a lot, and it was clearly a hard one to fact check. But going back to the meme, it's always important to consider who is sending out this information. In this case, it is very clearly coming from somebody who is in favor of Bernie. So with all of that, we have 1, an unverified date, 2, a Bernie supporter as the source, and 3, not the full story on Biden's stance on segregation. So I would rate the original post as needs context. So remember to look at all perspectives to get the full story, especially with the election around the corner. If you see anything like this floating around, please send it our way by tagging us at MediaWise or using the hashtag #IsThisLegit. And let us know in the comments what you thought about this story.